Good evening, councillors, staff, ladies and gentlemen in the gallery and those listening at home. Please be seated while Councillor Barley Singh delivers the blessing. Thank you.
In the name of the God, we gathered here today with the heart full of gratitude for the city of Gosnells. It's a rich diversity, vibrant community and natural beauty. We thank you for the opportunity to serve the city and its people with wisdom, integrity and compassion. Guide the heart and the mind of our council members as they deliberate and make their decisions and shape the future of our community. Grant them clarity, fairness, courage to act in the best interest of all the residents, fostering unity, respect and progress. God bless everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Singh. Before we begin, I will acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional lands of the Whadjuk Noongar people, and on behalf of Council, pay my respects to them, their culture, their elders past and present. It is now 7 p.m. and I declare the meeting open. There are no announcement of visitors. A disclaimer: members of the public are cautioned against taking any action on council decisions on items in which they may have an interest until such time as they've seen a copy of the minutes of the meeting or have been advised in writing by city staff. Also, please note all council meetings are digitally recorded and live streamed on the city's YouTube channel, except for confidential agenda items, during which time the live stream will be temporarily suspended. Record of attendance. Everybody is here. Are there any disclosures of interest, councillors? Councillor Deputy Mayor Williamson has a disclosure of interest in item number... Where is that? What is it? 13.4.3, but I believe it's an impartial interest, so she still has the right to vote on that. So thank you, Deputy Mayor. No other disclosures of interest? No. Announcements by presiding member, which is, sorry, Councillor Dalton. Thank you. Just to welcome the new councillors and the re-elected councillors to the council. Congratulations on your election once again, and wish you all the best for your future in the City of Gosnells Council. So I'm just trying to 333, yes. And well done, and thank you very much for running and putting your hand up. Thank you. This morning, several councillors and I attended the opening of the footpath, which is great to see another section of the footpath completed, and look forward to when that's all officially done, which is obviously not yet. There's still a bit more to be done on it. So when that all joins up all the way from Armidale into the city, so that'll be great when that occurs. So that's all I have from me. Reports of delegates, are there any? Councillor Abetz.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just like to report that I attended the rally at Parliament House on Sunday afternoon, Australians Against Anti-Semitism rally, and it was very...
Sorry, Councillor Abetz, I'll get you to do that in the presentation because this is reports of delegates. So,
sorry, delegates.
Yeah, you went there as a delegate, so thank you. Any other reports from delegates? No, thank you. Move on to question time, and we have just one question from Faisal. If you come forward, please. Thank you.
Are there any upcoming youth programs, workshops or initiatives the council is planning to support local high school students or young adults?
Thank you for your question. I'll get the Director for Community Engagement to answer your question. Her name is Glenda Blake. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have a whole range of youth programs happening across the year and a range of special holiday programs. Rather than try and tell you about them all, I'm wondering if it's possible to make contact with you via email or phone and give you a more fulsome answer.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you for your question. There are no other questions this evening. We do move on to public statement time. We have one from Hallie, I can never say this surname. Hallie Jebrez Ziaber. It's regarding item number, it's on page 6 on 19 of the agenda, and it's item number 13.2.1, the development application for the place of worship at 358 lot 78 Bickley Road, Kenwick. Thank you, Hallie. Can you turn the microphone on? Thank you. 3 minutes, Mr. G.
Yeah, okay. Madam Mayor, councillors, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak tonight. On behalf of the Tigray Orthodox Debre Amin Teklayamana Church, I would like to sincerely thank the City of Gosnells Planning and Development Office for the support and guidance throughout the process over the year. For over 30 years, our church has been home to a vibrant and growing community, with most of our members proudly living here in City of Gosnells. As our community expands, so does the need for well-designed church and community facilities, a place that can meet both spiritual and social needs. Importantly, our community includes many young Australians. We believe those young people, if equipped with right guidance, mentorship, opportunities, they can become future leaders, innovators, and contributors to Australian prosperity. But for that to happen, they need a space where they can gather, learn, and grow together in a safe, positive, and supportive environment. Our community is working hard to establish a new church and multi-purpose community centre, a facility that will go beyond worship. It will host activities such as language schools, language classes, sporting activities such as basketball, youth mentoring, engaged, confident counselling, and life skill training, creating a hub that keeps young people engaged, confident, and away from negative influences. This is about helping our youth reach their full potential, about building stronger, healthier, and more connected Australians. Going forward with the Future Cities MKC project, this centre will not only serve the community, only our community members, but open to all, including our neighbours and other emerging communities. We want to be the welcoming and accessible asset, a place where people from all walks of life can come together, share experiences, and support one another. We know that many of our young people face challenges, including mental health struggles. This centre will be a space of hope where they can find purpose, community, and encouragement to thrive. We have already secured over $1.3 million of funding from state government and OMI, Office of Multiculturalism, commitment, and the strong belief others have in this project. What we need now is your support to make it a reality. So today, councillors, Madam Mayor, I'm asking you humbly and respectfully, ask you to support this important development. Together, we can build space that strengthens families, empower youth, and enrich the whole City of Gosnells community. Thank you for your time, your service, and your commitment to our community. Thank you.
Very much, thank you. Are there any other public statements? There are no other public statements, so we move on to the confirmation of the minutes. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Islam to move that. Councillor Lloyd to second that. Thank you. Councillors, are there any questions on the minutes? No? If you'd like to cast your vote, please. Can I get a volunteer to turn off the public microphone, please? Thank you, Councillor Lloyd. Get over there. Thank you, that has been carried. Now move on to the receiving of petitions and presentations. Councillor Abetz, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councillors, just thought I would report that I attended the Australians Against Anti-Semitism rally at Parliament House on Sunday afternoon. It was attended by some 500 to 800 people. I'm very good at guessing the crowd. And it was good to see people from both sides of politics give speeches, including former councillor Adam Hort. He spoke for the Liberal side of politics and sends greetings to fellow councillors. But what I'd just like to say is that even though we don't have much of a significant Jewish community in our city, I think it's really important to remember that wherever we see racism, whether it's against black people, brown people, whatever, we need to speak up. We should never, ever be silent because, and I say this as a person born in Germany, the Holocaust could only happen because good people did nothing. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Abetz. Any other receivings of petitions and presentations? Councillor Islam, I believe you have a petition. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We received a petition from Mr. Karim on 23rd of September 2025 containing 25 signatures. The petition states, we respectfully request the following improvements for Crestwood Park. Number 1, establishment of dedicated kids playground, a playgroup area, or an upgrade to the existing playground with more activities and equipment. And number 2, installation of a gas barbecue stove, as the park currently does not have any barbecue facilities. I request the petition be received and a report prepared for council.
Thank you. Councillor Dewhurst, happy to second that. Councillors, if you'd like to cast your vote, please. Thank you. That has been carried. Are there any other petitions or presentations, councillors? Thank you. We've got one leave of absence here, which is for Councillor Zhang, who seeks a leave of absence from council for the 25th of November and for personal reasons. Can I get a mover for that? Councillor Deputy Mayor Williamson's happy to move that. Councillor Sislak to second that. Councillors, if you'd cast your vote. Thank you. Yes, Councillor Dewhurst. Oh, that's been carried. Thank you.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, I've got one on, I think, Tuesday 25th. It's the 25th of Tuesday in November. Yep. So I'll be leave of absence for that. Thank you.
We'll get a mover for that if you want to fill a proper form in. Thank you, Councillor Adams and Councillor Islam. Thank you if you'd like to cast your votes. Thank you. Thank you. That has been carried. And while we're at it, I have a leave of absence for the same date as well because I'll be in Canberra for the National Growth Areas Alliance. So I'm seeking a mover for that too, please. Thank you, Councillor Sislak. Councillor Zhang to second that. If you could cast your vote. Thank you. Thank you. That has been carried. Are there any other leave of absence for that evening? No. Or any other time? No. Thank you, councillors. No questions of which due notice has been given. No items to bring forward. So we move to item 12.1, the Public Art Committee meeting on the 23rd of September. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Lloyd to move that. Councillor Singh to second that. Any questions or debate on this item, councillors? Councillor Lloyd, Councillor Singh? No. If you'd like to cast your vote then, please. Thank you. That has been carried. Moving on to 13.2.1, the development application for the place of worship and additions at 358 Lot 278 Bickley Road, Kenwick. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Abetz to move this, Councillor Islam to second this. Councillor Abetz, would you like to speak to this item?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I speak in support of this development application and staff recommendation. I think it's an amazing development for the community, the Australian community. They've had their place of worship there for a number of years, and to seek to embark on such a massive building project, I think is quite remarkable and shows their commitment to being part of the community and providing for their young people with a hall and also a place of worship that's a little more aesthetically pleasing than the current shed that they've got where they worship. And I think the staff recommendations are very appropriate to the situation. And while I think this project probably will be a staged one rather than all happening very quickly, I think it's an exciting development for our city. And I think all the fact that it's in the Mooksy area, which is I guess very much in a transition stage. I think the recommendations of the staff particularly regarding the drumming, I think are fine. It doesn't in any way impede what has already been approved for the current place of worship. And as the Mooksy develops and becomes more commercial, they're always free to put in a new application for variation for the drumming issue or whatever other aspects they want to change. Because once it's all commercial in that area, it'll probably not be an issue, whereas now there's still in that transition phase with residential being right next door. Those sorts of things can create tensions, and so I just encourage all my fellow councillors to support the staff recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Abetz. Councillor Islam is a seconder. Would you like to speak to this? I have an amendment for this, councillors. The amendment reads, Mayor Lyons proposed the following: that the staff recommendation be amended by deleting condition 2, which relates to the provision of public art, for the following reason. The proposed development incorporates attractive and interesting design elements which is on their own, have artistic merit. It is therefore unnecessary to impose further burdens on not-for-profit organisations by requiring it to fund additional public art as part of the development. I'm seeking a seconder. Councillor Dewhurst to second that. And I'll just go on to speak to it, and it's refreshing to hear that the the representative of the church did talk about how this is going to be open for everyone. So I think it's important for us to support something where it's not absolutely necessary for having that public art on the front of the building. They're already doing something that looks amazing from the outside. So I think that we don't need to put that extra cost burden on them when they already don't have the money already, so they'll be looking for more money for it. So it's best if we can save them costs where possible. So I'm seeking your support on that. Councillor Dewhurst as a seconder, did you want to speak to my amendment? Thank you. No, would anybody else like to speak to the amendment? Deputy Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to speak in support of your amendment. I think our policy, which requires contributions towards public art, is sound and appropriate in industrial areas and commercial areas. But I feel one of the conditions in there is to have a professional artist perform those works. But when I look at the actual design of the building, the outcome and the actual build meets all those requirements, and I think it's unnecessary to require them to have a professional artist come in and install artwork when their building already incorporates that. So great amendment, and I fully support. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Is there any further debate on the amendment? I'm happy to leave that as it is then, councillors, if you would like to cast your vote on the amendment. Thank you. Thank you. That amendment has been carried. Now put that amendment back with the original item. Is there any further debate on the original item? Councillor Abetz, would you like to close? No. Councillors, if you'd like to cast your vote on the original item with the amendment. Thank you. Thank you. That has carried. That has been passed. The representatives here from the Ethiopian Church and Community Centre, you're welcome to stay with us for the rest of the night, or you're welcome to leave if you like. So it's very nice to see you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good luck with the project. We move on to item 13.2.2, the development application for the warehouse self-storage units at 12 Lot 89 Tuffin Street, Southern River. Seeking a mover for this, please. Councillor Dalton to move this and Deputy Mayor Williamson to second this. Councillor Dalton, would you like to speak to this? Deputy Mayor, would you like to speak to this? Anyone else like to speak to this or debate? I think this is the second one we've had for this area, isn't it? So it's great to see that they're starting to get some developments through in that Southern River Business Park area. So looking forward to them all starting. So that's all I have on that. Councillors, if you would like to cast your vote. Thank you. Thank you. That has carried. 13.3.2, the development application, reconsideration, showrooms, shops, fast food outlets, restaurants, cafe and service station convenience store, 606 Lot 101 Warton Road, Southern River. Seeking a mover for this, please. Deputy Mayor Williamson to move this and Councillor Singh to second this. Deputy Mayor, would you like to speak to this?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will be speaking in support of the staff recommendation. I initially, when this previously came before council, I did support the amendment which reduced the height of the signage, but now that the applicant has been to SAT and provided extra evidence to verify that there will not be that impact, and we do have the precedents already that we do have other signage to that height and it is in line with our policy, I fully support the staff's recommendation to now approve this height. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Who seconded that? Councillor Singh, did you want to speak to it? Did anybody else want to speak to this item? Councillor Dewhurst, thank you.
I am begrudgingly going to support it. I'll go through my reasons why in a second. But what I'm not happy about is those signs will affect those people across the road. They've already been affected by the raising of the road at that intersection, where actually people and trucks can actually sit there and look in the back family rooms. And but we've tried to encourage the state to do something for them, but I'm not sure where that's gone. This light will certainly, I've got no doubt it's going to affect them. It's going to go into the backyards, it's going to go into the back living rooms. Two of the houses that I got invited to, you can literally sit there and stand in their lounge room or back family room and look at the trucks go past and buses. So there's going to be some complaints, there's going to be some issues in there. I was originally not going to support this because I thought that we'd have a good grounds of argument in SAT, but I've been thinking about it over dinner and I don't think we will. I don't think we will win this, and it's an impost and cost to the city. Not that it should matter; the residents need to come first, but I still think we will actually lose that. And also, they could have gone around the council and gone straight to MODAP and straight to this, through the MODAP process, and we wouldn't have even been talking about it at all. Yes, begrudgingly, I'll support it. However, I just like to keep our ears open for any concerns in regards to the residents, in regards to the illumination into their backyards and into their houses. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Dewhurst. Is there any further debate? Councillor Abetz, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm very familiar with the area because I live very close by there, and the issue of light I don't actually believe will be a problem because the Australian standards to which this signage has to comply with is that it does not actually impact those people. If people don't like the visual amenity, and there is actually, the estate has a wall around it, so it's not that people sitting in their lounge room will actually see it. It's only if their stand and if their garden is higher than normal against that wall, they can perhaps see it looking up. But I remember when Nicholson Road was duplicated, there were people on the what would be the south side, I guess, of Nicholson Road, so heading up towards the Garden Street roundabout. When that was duplicated, the wall was not that high anymore, and so I'm not sure if it was the council, I think it was the council or whoever did the duplication of the road, they actually planted fast-growing, I think it's a kind of bougainvillea actually, which very quickly actually went taller than the wall, and now totally screens Nicholson Road. Nobody can look into their backyards from a bus or anything like that. So for the people that are on the very corner who think that's an issue, I'm sure that in consultation with our parks people, those kinds of trees, shrubs, or whatever you call them, could be planted along there and totally shield that so that there would be zero visual amenity issues within a couple of years. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Abetz. Is there any further debate on this item? Councillor Dewhurst, you have a question?
Yeah, of course. So obviously I must have been standing in the wrong place.
Your question?
Certainly a question. Do you think I'll be sitting in the wrong house, Madam Mayor? Standing there looking at the bus and that there. Question is, how many houses does that bougainvillea go across?
I
can answer it, but if you want to,
I
two.
can't. Yeah. Okay.
Look at the picture. It would be all right for the council for when people do complain about it and saying that I'll have to give Councillor Abetz their phone number, maybe, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Dewhurst.
Okay, it's just I can't believe what he said.
Thank you. Thank you. Any further debate on this, councillors? No? If you would like to cast your vote then, thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. Move on to 13.2.4, the draft local planning policy 1.6, industrial and commercial development, final adoption. Can I get a mover for this, please? Deputy Mayor Williamson, Councillor Islam. Deputy Mayor, would you like to speak to this? Councillor Islam. Would anybody else like to speak to this item? No? Councillors, if you'd like to cast your vote, thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. Moving on, 13.2.5, the amendment number 1 to local planning scheme number 24, extension to period of operation for Maddington Road Precincts A and B DCP. Can I get a mover for this, please? Happy to move that myself. Can I get a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Dalton. I don't have any debate on this. Does anybody else have any debate on this item? No, councillors, thank you. If you'd like to cast your vote. Thank you, that has been carried. You okay? Thank you. Moving on to item 13.2.6, the draft local planning policy 1.5 for unhosted short-term rental accommodation, adoption for advertising. Can I get a mover for this? Councillor Islam's happy to move this. A seconder? Councillor Abetz to second this. Councillor Islam, would you like to speak to this item? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. We have needed this policy for some time because at our last OCM, we saw confusion among the staff, applicants, and elected members when assessing 2 applications, and finally we actually approved both of them. Now, this draft policy gives clear and balanced guidance to our residents, to our staff, and to ourselves. It protects neighbourhood amenity while allowing responsible hosts to operate fairly. We heard from a resident in our last OCM about how Estra provides much needed income for the families. And this policy helps support that responsibly. Now, it will now go for public consultation so the community can have their voice and their say before it's finalized. So I ask my fellow councillors to support this policy. Thank you.
Councillor Islam as a seconder. Councillor Abetz, would you like to speak to this item? Would anybody else like to speak to this item? Deputy Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to move an amendment to this item, which reads, I, Councillor Serena Williamson, propose the following, that the staff recommendation be amended to read that Council pursuant to Clause 4.1 of Section 2 of the Planning and Development Local Planning Scheme Regulations 2015 advertises Draft Local Planning Policy 1.5 unhosted short-term rental accommodation as contained in Appendix 1 of this report, subject to the following modifications. 1. Modifying the objective of the policy to add the words and preserve residential dwellings for permanent accommodation. 2. Inserting a new heading titled Location Criteria, which states as follows. Unhosted STRA in urban areas should be located within A. 400 metres of a secondary or district activity centre identified in State Planning Policy 4.2 activity centres, or B, 800 metres of a train station, or C, 200 metres of Albany Highway. Unhosted STRA is generally acceptable in rural zones, excluding properties located within the Maddington Kenwick Strategic Employment Area. Locations for STRA proposals are shown in Appendix 2 and can be accessed from the City's website. 3. Inserting a map titled Appendix 2, displaying and reflecting the location criteria as listed in Part 2 above. 4. Modifying Section 3.6 to require a bushfire management plan undertaken by a suitably qualified building practitioner where the proposal involves a new building to be constructed. For the following reasons, unhosted STRA is an emerging land use across the metro area. Local governments are required to consider the use through various planning frameworks and policy positions. The need for unhosted STRA in Perth and more locally is acknowledged. However, in the City of Gosnells, it is important that Council adopts a local planning policy that balances the demand and or need for commercial unhosted STRA against the needs of established residential land uses to minimise adverse planning outcomes. The motion seeks to manage and minimise the impact on established residential areas. The proposed changes will meet this requirement by permitting investment and operation of unhosted STRAs as a commercial use within the locations that meet the certain criteria. The location criteria are based on sound planning grounds which align unhosted STRAs with higher intensity uses in locations that are close to secondary or district activity centres, train stations or Albany Highway. The rationale behind these radial zones acknowledges those areas are intended to accommodate a mix of uses and or higher density living. These locations also align with established planning transport orientated development and will be subject to transition as development occurs. At the same time, by permitting unhosted STRA in the aforementioned location, Council also protects the character and social impacts in localities that are intended to offer long-term residential accommodation.
Councillor Williamson, a seconder. Oh, you're seeking a seconder. Can I get Councillor Williamson seeking a seconder for amendment? Councillor Lloyd? Okay. Councillor Deputy Mayor, if you'd like to speak to it, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, councillors. So, planning policy, I guess where I want to begin is the purpose of a planning policy. We have had, up until recently, Council has held, we haven't had a planning policy dictating where STRAs could be located. And we have had a number of STRAs operating within the city without development approval. They're now required to obtain development approval, and we have had applications come through. Up until the last council meeting, we upheld the position that STRAs were not permitted in residential area due to the impact on residents in nearby locations. That position was departed at the last council meeting, and that was in response to a previous planning policy which was drafted by the Director of Planning, which proposed the radial areas. At that meeting in August, where that draft policy came to council, I moved a motion to defer that item to a workshop for consideration. We did have that workshop, and there were very mixed views at that workshop. There wasn't a decision made, because decisions can only be made in council chambers. We then had a council meeting where 2 applicants for STRAs were on the agenda, and that meeting, those 2 applicants were approved with a condition, time limiting condition until, and in that, the argument and the debate was that we would develop a planning policy. Now on tonight's agenda, we have that planning policy in front of us as a draft. The planning policy that has come back to us basically removes all requirements of locations. So now, under our zoning, we've had LPS 24 come into effect. Any STRA application to the city that comes in, if this policy was adopted as it is in tonight's agenda, would not be advertised. And if it meets the requirements in there that they actually have a management plan, noise management plan, then pretty much it would be approved. There wouldn't be any grounds to control the types and the locations. So what I'm proposing is we go back to what the staff had initially recommended to us and do the radius zones. So the radius zones apply on planning grounds. They're based on transport orientation and density usage. So those areas where the staff initially proposed them, it covers 11,000 houses. It balances the need of investment against the need of residential use. To have a blanket allow it anywhere because it's too hard to work out where and why, I think would be irresponsible from a planning position. I think I've spent a significant amount of time researching what's been happening because, as I've said, it's emerging. This is something that's come about in January, the change to the legislation. And so now we're starting to see the applications through. If we were to uphold a position where there were no areas, it then becomes very appealing for investors to set up Airbnbs in homes that are on our residential quiet streets. And the neighbours don't get any third-party appeal rights. They don't get any consultation rights. So I think if we're going out to the community with a draft policy, we, the ones sitting around the table that have had access to planning training, have access to the expert knowledge, have access to the cases that have gone to SAT, should get this policy to a position that can be upheld to protect our residents and allow for investment in our city with certainty. So I will be asking you to support this amendment. Before I finish, I just wanted to touch there. In that time, there were 2 cases that went to SAT, and SAT upheld, and they were in relation to the City of Belmont. They upheld that STRAs are commercial developments. They're not residential developments. And that to protect the amenity of the residential area and the primary purpose, the City of Belmont's policy provided that protection, and that was reasonable grounds. And it's in line with what the state has rolled out with the legislation on STRAs. So I think I would ask you to support this amendment. I also included the bushfire part in there because there may be a property in the rural area that is purchased and someone could build a new dwelling on there to be a STRA, and it would have to meet bushfire requirements. So I know the wording is a little bit funny in here because it refers to appendixes and refers to distances, but I would ask you, if you've got any questions about that, direct them to the Director of Planning, the CEO or the Mayor tonight in the debate before you make your decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Williamson. Will you turn the mic off? Thanks. Councillor Lloyd, as the seconder, would you like to speak to this item?
I just wanted to ask a question, if possible, through you, Madam Mayor, to Director Lafort. I asked a question out the back because one of the main issues that I have with leaving it open is that there won't be the ability for community consultation, for neighbours to know that this is potentially coming next door to them. And the question that I asked is, if we didn't go with this amendment as it is and say I wanted to put in that we would just have community consultation added, can I ask for clarification as to what that would mean in the event that it came before us or someone had an objection?
You're asking for it to be advertised.
Yes.
Is that right? Yes, thank you. The Director will respond. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. If the way that we've drafted the policy would be that if the proposal complies with the local planning policy, then we wouldn't advertise the proposal and it would be dealt with under delegation. If council wanted to change and put in the policy that all of them, all the proposals would require advertising, that's open to council to do that. But if we were advertising to neighbours and it was fully compliant with the policy, when it comes to council, it could be a difficult position to refuse it if it's fully policy compliant. So that should be taken into account with any addition of additional advertising.
Follow-up question?
Yes, sorry, I think my first
Well,
question
you
was
can
a
still
little
speak
bit,
to it, actually, yes.
a little bit roundabout. Actually, can I reserve and see if anybody else wants to speak on it?
Yes, thank you. Councillor Dewhurst, thank you.
We're dealing with the amendment. It's probably not the time to actually discuss this part of it. Look, I'm actually torn because I wasn't quite aware. Did this actually go out as a draft policy to councillors prior to today, apart from in the agenda?
No. Last week when it came out in the agenda.
Okay. I personally need more time to consider this. There is a lot to consider in regards to this, and we've been very busy through election cycle and coming down from that, we've been very, very busy. So I was wondering if there's a way that we can take this off the table tonight, either through a foreshadowed motion or something, for it to go back so we can actually consider it. Maybe even needs to be workshop, because I don't want to discourage people from actually coming forward and doing what they want to do, but on a time limits period. There's things in there that I agree with the amendment, and also things I agree with what the staff are doing. However, in regards to rural areas, I've got my own opinions in regards to that, which needs to be discussed
You'd need to move a deferral procedural motion to defer
Yeah,
it.
I'd
Is there any way to do
like
it?
to move a procedural motion then.
So 10.1A, that the motion be deferred is your procedural, and you're seeking a
10.1A.
seconder.
Okay, hang on a second.
Is that to be part of it? It's been talked about,
Okay,
isn't it?
I'll just wing it.
Yeah. Sorry, I found it and read it out for you. You can
Yeah,
seek a
thanks very
seconder.
much. Can I pretend I found it?
You're seeking a seconder.
Okay, I'd just like to seek a seconder on that procedural motion. Thank you.
Councillor Sislak's happy to second that. Councillor Dewhurst, if you'd like to speak to it. There is no debate on this, councillors. Councillor Dewhurst, as the mover of the procedural motion, has the right to speak to it, and then there's no debate. We go to a vote after that.
This is a big thing for people because there's people been out there who have actually invested in these houses already and who are running it. We heard from them from the last council meeting, and I feel for them. I also feel for the fact that, you know, I don't want to see our housing stocks be dwindled into Airbnbs. Whether that happens, I don't know. But I personally would like to consider this further. I think there's a lot more discussion and a lot more thought that can actually go into this. There's concerns I have in regards to rural areas. I'm concerned that people going up there and getting an Airbnb and you know, lighting a bonfire in the middle of the summer, that does concern me. It also we've had that a few Christmases ago, New Year's ago, where people went up there in the middle of the summer and on New Year's Eve let fireworks off. The neighbours quickly shut it down, but it does happen. So I would ask you to please to support this procedural motion, and I do believe that we need to have consideration on this before we go any further. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Dewhurst. Councillors, will you please cast your vote? Thank you. Thank you. That item has been passed, so we'll be deferring that back to a workshop. Thank you. Okay. What are we up to? Okay, moving on to 13.4.1, the History and Heritage Advisory Group meeting on the 2nd of October 2025. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Dewhurst to move that, Councillor Zhang to second that. Is there any debate or questions on this, councillors? No? If you would like to cast your vote, thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. This was up to. I need to get this done differently, don't I? I'm not going to go too far. What is it? 2. Okay. Moving on to item number 13.4.2, the History and Heritage Advisory Group endorsement of membership. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Islam to move this, Councillor Abetz to second this. Is there any debate or questions on this, councillors? No debate or questions, but I just want to say it's fantastic that Mr Jeff Wiltshire, who's been a stalwart in the men's shed, has put his hand up for this, as well as he is an OAM. So I'm really pleased to see him nominate for this, as well as Mrs Margaret McLean. She's a volunteer at Wilkinson Homestead, so fantastic that she's put her hand up. So I think together with our councillor representatives, I think we'll have a really good committee there for advisory group there for the Director Blake to bring many heritage things forward to her. So happy to support the staff recommendation of endorsing those 6 people. Thank you. Anything further from anyone? No? Okay, if you could please cast your vote. Thank you. Thank you. That has been carried. We're moving on to item 13.4.3, which is the Community Grants Level 2 September 2025 funding. The attachment is a confidential item, so if you were debating anything, you would speak with number 1, number 2, number 3 of who you're referring to. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Zhang to move this. Councillor Lloyd to second this. Is there any debate or questions on this, councillors? Councillor Zhang is the mover first, sorry. Yes.
I'll just provide feedback. The community just say thank you for the new online application system. It's easy, way easier to use compared to the old Word version. So just to share this feedback from the community.
Thank you very much for that, Councillor Zhang. Deputy Mayor, did you, as seconder, Councillor Lloyd, with you, seconder? You're okay? Deputy Mayor, thank you.
I just wanted to remind you this was the item that I have the impartiality interest.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, you're quite right. Okay, thank you for that reminder. And any further questions or debate on this, councillors? If you'd like to cast your vote, thank you. Okay, that has been carried. Thank you. Moving on to item number, back to this, 13.5.1, the financial activity statement for September 2025. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Sislak to move this and Councillor Singh to second this. Any questions or debate on this item, councillors? No? If you please cast your vote, thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. 13.5.2, the payment of accounts for September 2025. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Dalton to move this, Councillor Islam to second this. Any questions or debate, councillors? No? If you would please cast your vote. Thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. 13.5.3, the proposal to make the City of Gosnells Amendment Local Law 2025. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Lloyd, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Abetz, thank you. Any debate or questions on this item, councillors? Deputy Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just have a question in relation to Section 5.5, the prescribed offences amendment for the electric vehicles. Do those penalties only apply in city-owned electric vehicle bays, or is that anywhere within the city?
Thank you, and Mr Bradbrook will respond.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The parking local law only applies to parking on streets and city facilities, but we can enter into private parking agreements where the local law then applies to private property as well. So, for example, if Coles wanted to put in some electric vehicle parking bays and we had an agreement with Coles to enforce that, then this would also apply.
No further questions or debate? Councillor Islam.
Sorry, I've got a question on this actually. The question is, do they need to display the sign without that we can apply the penalties?
Councillor, sorry, Director Bradbrook, I'm not sure I understood the question, but you may have. We'll see what the answer is and then I'll know what the question was.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think Councillor Islam is asking whether the bays on private property in particular would have to be, well, all of the bays would have to be appropriately signposted for that to be clear that it is for electric vehicles while they're charging for us to be able to enforce it.
Yeah, that was my question, yes.
Thanks. Anything further?
Yeah, the question is, do they have to display the sign before we can impose the penalties? So, for example, the private property, if we're not displaying a sign there and someone parked there, now can this local law be applied and an infringement can be issued?
Thank you for your question, Director. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The signs would have to be installed before we could start issuing infringement notices. But certainly for the city's electric vehicle bays where there's charging infrastructure, they are signposted already.
Yes, Councillor Mason, thank you.
Just following on for that question, will the signage have to say parking here? You'll then get a penalty or a fine of this if you're not using it appropriately? Because there's signage that's saying electric vehicle charging or bays only, but then is there the consequence of if you're not doing that being provided or shown?
Thank you for your question. Thank you, Director.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No, the signs won't say what the penalty is for non-compliance. It's much like timed parking. If it's 1 hour parking, it doesn't say $150 infringement applies. You can't park contrary to a sign, and if you do, it's an offence for which you can get an infringement notice.
Thank you. I just have a question on this, which is relevant now that you've all brought up the car charging bays. Director Glover, do you know if the bays have actually been painted now at Mills Park? Oh, I'll follow that up with you tomorrow. Thank you, Director. Thank you. Sorry to put you on the spot. I'm sure the answer was yes. Any other questions on this, councillors? Deputy Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. In relation to the electric car bays, well, the fines in that, will we be writing to various businesses that have parking within the city or including in the business newsletter that they can, private businesses can apply to us to have that parking management implemented?
Thank you for your question. Director Bradbrook.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I hadn't intended to, and the reason for that is that if we were to do the parking compliance and enforcement on all private property across the city, I'll need to come to you with a budget request for a few extra ranges. It'd be fairly resource intensive.
Questions on that one? Okay, councillors, if you could please cast your vote. Thank you. Okay, that has been carried. Now move on to item 13.5.4, the proposed delegated authority register for 2025-26. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Zhang to move this, Councillor Mason to second this. Any questions or debate on this, Councillor Zhang, Councillor Mason, anybody else? Okay, councillors, if there's no questions, if you could please cast your vote. Thank you. There are no motions of which previous notice has been given, no urgent business and no confidential matters. I declare the meeting closed at 7:52. Thank you very much, everyone. Safe travels home. Thank you.